Local programming on KRWG Public Media made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
This is KRWG Public Media, TV, radio, online. News that matters. Now, across the Mesilla Valley and the borderland, the stories that shape our community. From the KRWG Broadcast Center at New Mexico State University, this is Newsmakers.
Thanks for joining us on this special edition of Newsmakers. I'm Fred Martino. Today, an in-depth look at efforts to ensure more students enter college and continue to graduation. We begin with a video from New Mexico State University featuring first-generation college students.
My name is Fatima Gonzalez. I am a first-generation college student at NMSU. This is my second year studying animal science.
My name is Ramon Salazar, and I am currently in my second year at NMSU, majoring in both anthropology and government. I did know I was a first-generation student.
Hi, my name is Emily Rodriguez, and I am a freshman in college here in NMSU. My major is criminal justice, and when I first enrolled, I didn't know that I was a first-generation student.
My name is Maria Gomez, and I graduated in December 2016 from NMSU with a bachelor's degree in Family Consumer Science Education and a bachelor's degree in Foreign Language and Spanish.
My name is Sunny Shaw. I am a first-generation Aggie. I am a sophomore at NMSU Alamogordo campus, majoring in animal sciences.
Hi, my name is Carolina Trejo, and I'm currently a sophomore majoring in pre-nursing at New Mexico State University. When I enrolled into college, I did know that I was a first-generation student.
My name is Francisco Tony Moran. I graduated from New Mexico State University in 2008 with my master's in accounting. When I started college, I didn't realize I was part of the first generation.
Neither of your mom or dad or whoever is your guidance obtain a bachelor's degree. It doesn't matter if your older sister or older brother have a bachelor's degree. As long as your parents do not have a bachelor's degree, you are still considered first generation.
The biggest challenges that I am able to identify with is seeking help. I felt like I was made to feel inferior to them for not knowing.
My struggles are having trouble engaging in college academically.
There was not a lot of mentors or not a lot of advice.
Some of the challenges I faced was being afraid to ask for help. And this includes in financial aid, as changing majors, adding minors, with my meal plan, or just with my grades. I never asked anyone for help, and I was often scared. I was scared that I was going to be embarrassed, that nobody would give me an answer, that they would think that my question was invalid.
So I didn't know how to get into college, nor did I know how to do FAFSA or apply for scholarships, and learn about various degree programs.
Well, one main challenge I had to overcome was just going out to seek the help, due to me being a real shy person and kind of being afraid to go seek the help.
Because I was the first one to ever attend college. Neither of my older siblings or my parents ever attend college. I had no clue how to fill out a college application, no clue how to fill financial aid or scholarships.
Some advice I give are to set goals, work hard, and think ahead, and always plan ahead for your future.
I advise that you do internships. I advise that you do a study abroad to make sure that you are going into a career that you are going to enjoy.
Sometimes I know it can be scary and intimidating to ask for help, but no matter what it is that you need, it will always be worth it to ask.
I am here to tell you guys to please lose that fear. There is nothing that will make you succeed more than you asking questions. Please reach out to your professors, make meetings with them, get to know them. Your academic advisors are here to help you guys. Please reach out to them.
My advice for first generation students is to never give up, to live it day by day, and to always reach out for help. If you don't ask questions, if you don't reach out for help, no one's going to know what you're struggling with. No one's going to be able to help you until you speak up. There's always help for you everywhere, especially in NMSU. You have great staff, great professors, great services that will always reach out to you if you reach out to them.
Now, to learn more about this issue, I'm very pleased to welcome New Mexico State University student Carolina Trejo and NMSU Trio Upward Bound Director Rosa de la Torre-Burmeister. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. Carolina, I want to start with you. Tell me a little bit about your journey that led you to NMSU.
Well, my journey started whenever I was recruited into Trio Upward Bound in high school. And they encouraged me to, how would I say it? Not apply, but attend the bridge program here at NMSU. And I did. At the bridge program, I had firsthand opportunity to experience what college life here on campus was, and getting closer to the end of the program, I remember I walked into the Trio Upward Bound room and I told my teachers and the teacher that was here on campus teaching me that I decided to come to NMSU. After telling them, they were so excited. They even gave me a little souvenir cup, and I was overwhelmed with joy because I love the community here at NMSU, and I remember that they helped me. They helped me reach out to camp, and I love the community at camp as well. And both of them, they became my family away from home.
Now, camp is the College Assistance Migrant Program, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So that was another support system when you actually entered NMSU after high school. And I guess that probably helped you adjust to college life.
Yes, it did. They gave me a family that was away from home, as well as True Upward Bound. And so my journey to NMSU all started from the True Upward Bound program.
Yeah, such a great program. I'm very familiar with camp because we've done features on that here at KRWG. And both camp and Trio Upward Bound are national programs, federally supported. And so they help students all over the country. Rosa, as I mentioned in the introduction, you head up Trio Upward Bound here at New Mexico State University. Give me a sense of the support systems for students in their first year of college. We know this is a critical time.
Absolutely. You know, the support systems here at New Mexico State University in their first year and beyond revolve around something that I like to refer to as the 5 pillars to college success. So we're helping them academically, financially, and career, social services, health and safety. So when I'm talking about academic, we're helping them in terms of the degree, the major, exploration, the study skills, tutoring, and we have the Student Success Center that has sessions for them, workshops. We have the Trio Student Success Services or Support Services, which is also a federal program, but that focuses on college level students, which I think maybe Carolina is also part of. So we kind of hand off the baton from Trio Upward Bound to the Trio Student Support Services. We also, in terms of the support systems academically, CAMP, as Carolina mentioned, campus tutoring, the Center for Academic Advising, the academic colleges on campus are a great support. ASNMSU, the Black programs, Chicano programs, LBGT programs. The newly created, I think is another great approach that we've got is a family outreach program that not only supports the student, but also the family and teaches them a little bit about what we have to offer in terms of resources, academic also for them to maybe jump back into school. In terms of the financial supports, we're looking at how do you pay for college? How do you develop financial wellness? So we've got the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships. The Student Success Center has programs as well, workshops, and they've got this EMC new program. It's a platform which is a free resource for all the students, and actually faculty and staff can use it as well. And it shows you about budgeting, it shows you about credit reports, how to save, and again, the Family Outreach Center is great.
So lots of opportunities at
Yes.
NMSU when students
Yes.
come in to help them
Yes.
adjust to college life. But,
Exactly.
but they have to get here first. And I know Trio Upward Bound is part of that. It was for Carolina. You head up Trio Upward Bound. Give us a quick sense of what that program is for folks who are not familiar with it.
In terms of the Tree Upward Bound, do you have hours to talk about that? That's a passion that I have. Yes, I serve as a director of one of the 3 NMSU Trio Upward Bound programs. We have a program for Hatch High School, and that's where Carolina participated in. We have a program for Alamogordo High School, and my program is a Trio Upward Bound for GISD LCPS. GISD meaning the Gadsden Independent School District and the Las Cruces Public Schools. So we are 100% grant funded by the U.S. Department of Education. We are a true year-round college prep program that serves a certain number of participants. So my program serves 90, but they've got to be eligible, meaning they have to apply. They must be either first generation and or a limited income and or at academic risk. So we ask for an application and a couple of documents to make sure that we uphold that. But my program serves 5 high schools. It's Gadsden High School, Santa Teresa, Las Cruces, Mayfield, and Oñate. And again, it's a total of 90 participants. And what we do is we help students complete their secondary. So we motivate them, we provide them with workshops, skills to understand why they need to complete secondary education, and then introduce them to post-secondary education. We develop all the motivation to keep them going. Again, the goal is to graduate from college with a bachelor's degree. So this will help us increase the rates at which we enroll and graduate students into institutions of higher education. So one of many benefits of this program is it's year-round programming, and we meet with the students, which after they join, they become participants. We have after-school assemblies or meetings. So we meet after school. When we are face-to-face, we go to their high school and we meet at the library and we discuss some of these opportunities, not only career readiness, but also college readiness, as well as looking at what they're focusing on during their high school program. So if they're having trouble with math, we help them with math. We help them with English is always one of the concerns, the language arts.
Such
so we
important
also have
work to help young people. I've taught college classes for decades, and I think this is one of the things that many people who have not had that experience don't realize is that many students need that help, especially in their first year, because they're not only adjusting to college life, maybe living on their own for the first time, but adjusting to college classes as well. And so I can think for my own self, when I left high school, I had no idea what it was going to be like, taking my first college classes, and things were very different. And so to prepare students for that is really outstanding. And Carolina, you mentioned earlier, you were part of Trio Upward Bound. That's part of what led you to NMSU. For folks who are watching who are considering college, what advice, Carolina, would you have for them?
I would tell them for it. 100% go for it. College is everything that you make it, and you're faced with choices every day. Sometimes they can be good, sometimes they can be bad, but the choices that you make build your character. And I know that since I've started, I'm building my character, and there's nothing that I would change, because everything that I've ever done has led me to where I am today, and I'm grateful for that.
Carolina, what would you say are the biggest challenges, if any, that you still face in school?
Is asking for help. asking for help is one of the hardest things that I've ever had to face. It's not only in classes, it can be in little things in my everyday life that I just get scared about.
That is so important. I am so glad that you shared that and mentioned that, because I don't think we often do a good enough job telling young people it's okay to ask for help, that it's what you need to do. Ask for help when you need help, because that's how you get help. If you don't ask, sometimes no one knows that you may need assistance in a certain area. Rosa, give me a sense of some of the most common student challenges that you see working in this field.
Sure. You know, I've seen even more during this pandemic. And as Carolina mentioned, it's the asking for help. And it's not knowing the technology, maybe the access to technology, especially during this time, not having the hardware, the connectivity. It has been an issue not only for a secondary, but also I think for post-secondary students. And the next thing is, it's not academics, it's sometimes more home issues or personal issues, like the home, the family, financial, food issues, which leads to depression, which leads to being overwhelmed and the lack of focus and interest and disorganization. That's why programs like ours come in and say, hey, how can we help you? We've got resources not only for you in terms of academic, but also personally. And also, this is a commitment by not only the participant or the student when it comes to college, but also the parents, the family. So we have resources that we help with them within the community in Las Cruces, throughout Doña Ana County and New Mexico State University. But then all this also leads to sometimes a lack of self-care and not eating right. So we try to address those issues too. And at the same time, we're motivating them and trying to keep them on target so that they know they can do it, and that we've got a good support system. But those are some of the leading issues that we've seen now during this pandemic. But they know we're here for them. And
that's great. Yeah, I mean, and it's great to hear the holistic approach. When I think about, you mentioned nutrition, when I think about the way that I ate when I was in college, it wasn't very good a lot of the times. Too much pizza and ice cream, which I still eat too much of. But you know, it's very important. Sleep and nutrition, incredibly important when you're learning and when you're in college. I'm glad you also mentioned the pandemic and remote learning, remote everything, including television. We're doing this interview remotely. Rosa, tell me more about that, the assistance that's been needed for students with remote learning. I know some of this is technical, getting the right internet connection. Some of it's also hardware, but there may be other things too, right?
definitely. You know, one of the things that I think it all hit us hard. So before we were able to help our students is we had to help ourselves. So we had to move fast. I can't believe it's almost going to be a year, I think March 18th, since we've been teleworking. So it was just the access of technology for the staff. Did they have the hardware, connectivity at home, the setup? But again, the IT office on campus helped us setting up a home office, and then receiving ourselves training in terms of Zoom, MS Teams, Canvas, and understanding the data security before we could develop our curriculum for our participants, and then teaching them how to use the system, Zoom, Canvas, and okay, how to keep them motivated. So trying to have inviting items to discuss and backgrounds like you see right now, my virtual background, but also maintaining the sense of the human connection and not just make it about, okay, here we are, you're going to learn this lesson, asking them, so how are you doing today? How can we help? So that we can all get through this. And it's just been, I think, an eye-opener. I would say that this pandemic has been a blessing in disguise because we know what comes first, and that's taking care of yourself first and your family, and being able to move forward because you say, okay, now I see why I need to be in technology or the science, the technology, engineering, or maybe the health field, you know, to be able to help, because I can't get there to help others that I want to help unless I learn all this. So during this pandemic has been a lot of learning, educating for not only the students, but also the staff.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Canvas for folks who are watching who are not familiar with the term Canvas. That is the platform that New Mexico State University uses for classes online, and many universities use that. I was pleased to see that Las Cruces Public Schools has been using Canvas, because that will prepare those students when they enter college, and it will also prepare them even when this pandemic is over, because Canvas is used even when we're not doing fully remote learning, because there's always, in most classes, there's always some sort of online elements that you have materials available in Canvas online, and the organization of the class. It's good for somebody like me who often loses papers to have it all there online. Carolina, how about you? Tell me how you've adjusted to remote learning and other things, other challenges during the pandemic.
So I've adjusted to remote learning in not a bad way, but sort of something that tries to help me motivate myself more. So when remote learning, I was confused about how assignments would be turned in, because we had gotten physical papers right before we had been sent home. And so we had to figure out how to upload them if we didn't have a printer. So we had to download a few apps. Transitioning wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, mainly because it was a learning process for both the teachers. So it was great to be like, okay, you're struggling, I'm struggling. We can help you work through Zoom. You can help us work, and we'll just build that way on each other. I do realize that one of the major challenges that I have is that sometimes in lectures, some teachers can go a little too fast. But the good thing about it is that most are recorded. So we have the opportunity to go back, rewatch them, slow them down, and take our notes again if we ever get confused on anything.
That's great. Yeah, I remember that being a huge benefit of online learning, the chance to review things a second time that you might not have in the physical classroom. So really great. Carolina, tell me about your plans after graduation, when you graduate from New Mexico State, what you'd like to do.
So after graduating New Mexico State University, I'd like to apply to a local hospital here in Las Cruces. I'm currently going for nursing. I want to work there for about a year or two, and then I want to return to get my master's so that I can become a nurse practitioner.
Oh, fantastic. Well, wonderful. I am so happy to hear that, and so happy to hear that you're entering the health field. We need folks in health professions. My wife is a nurse, and it's such an important thing. It's such important work, and you will be in great demand, so you will have no trouble finding a job as well. So that's another wonderful thing to hear when you graduate from college. Not all of us have had that experience graduating, to hear, hey, you're in hot demand. You're gonna be able to get a job. Rosa, that must be great to hear that, especially knowing that Carolina started her journey in Upward Bound and Trejo. What are some final words, Rosa, that you have for young people who may be watching, students considering college, or even parents or grandparents who want to encourage young people, either in the family or in the community, to consider college?
Sure. You know, as a first generation low income Latina student, I learned exactly what Ms. Carolina said. It is okay to ask and seek for help. You know, one of the programs, seek out your resources, Trio Upward Bound programs, other college prep programs. And remember that college is safe. It's also engaging, it's nurturing. And I think at the end, it's fulfilling because there's a reward out there. You're not only helping yourself, but you're helping your family and others. And that NMSU does have all the resources that you need and your family needs to make the choices to create that future that you want. And it's not only lip service, but we're all here to help you. If you have any questions, call me. I'm right here. And I think Carolina is a tribute to just the success of not only Trio Upward Bound, but the success of what we see in the future for more of our participants and the combination here at New Mexico State University supporting all the students and the parents and the families. And the families too, that they are welcome to be on campus.
And Rosa, I'm so glad you also mentioned that in addition to academic and life support, that we have a financial aid department here on campus. And this is one of the things that I think in high school, not everyone gets the advice that you may give in Trio Upward Bound, that there are many scholarships available, local and regional and also national scholarships that are available to help students in addition to whatever support they get, for instance, from the state through the lottery scholarship.
Correct. Yes, there are lots of supports where, you can even go to a local Burger King, they'll tell you about a scholarship that they have. The community is there, some of the programs within the community, and those are some of the resources that we offer. But with Trio Upward Bound, we do help them complete their free application for federal student aid. We help them with scholarships. And you know what? Because we invite the parents in, sometimes the parents say, oh, I'm going to return to school. And that means the world to me when we not only have the participant, the student, we also have the parents involved. And that's exciting. I think that's what makes it rewarding to be an educator and part of Trio Upward Bound and New Mexico State University. And with great. Carolina herself. So thank you.
Fantastic. Well, Rosa, thank you for the work you do. And Carolina, thank you for sharing your story. And again, good luck to you as you finish your nursing education at New Mexico State and get into the workforce. And then, as you said, maybe return to New Mexico State for that master's degree.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much. Well, that is our time for now. Join us this week on KRWG Radio. Every weekday, it's morning edition from 5 to 9, Fresh Air at 11, followed by Here and Now, noon to 2, and All Things Considered, 4 to 7. KRWG News is always online at krwg.org. We'd love to hear from you. Email us with story ideas and video submissions. That address is feedback@nmsu.edu. For all of us at KRWG News, I'm Fred Martino. Have a great week. We'll see you next time on Newsmakers.